Tonight, from MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, it's the NFC Championship game. Daniel Jones and the New York Giants taking on Lamar Jackson and the Detroit Lions.
We welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Coming up, it's a battle to represent the NFC in this year's Super Bowl. And we've got a classic in store between the Detroit Lions and the New York Giants. One of these teams will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl in 2 weeks' time. Which will it be as we're underway in the NFC title game? And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They will be led out by the former Heisman 2016, always a handful to contain, Lamar Jackson.
And we can talk all we want about football being a team game and leaning on different parts and aspects in order to get it done. And that's entirely true during the regular season. Some weeks it's the defense, the special teams, running the football. But in the playoffs, all the pressure reverts to the quarterback, and he has to play well and play at a really high level in order for his team to win.
First carry for the former Tar Heel, Javonte Williams. He pushes through a would-be tackler to get about 3 yards, second down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. Well, let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3-3-yard gains, that means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It'll be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. They'll hand it off now. Williams. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, and a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got the lead guy running it pretty well, too.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Jackson. Man open, that's Jamar Chase, complete.
First drive of the game. We did see this in practice, didn't we? Because they allowed us to stay and watch and see what the opening script would be, even though we don't know the exact play calls. That looks a lot like what we saw them execute, doesn't it?
It really does, and in practice, it wasn't about a lot of big shots on that opening drive. They wanted to put together a series of plays, sustain it. They've done that. The defense now on their heels a little.
That they are, and you know what else is happening now? They're gaining information. They're gaining knowledge about how the defense is planning on playing them. So not only are they being successful on this drive, they're filing things away for future drives in this game.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson being chased out left. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Well, you know, paramount for this defense is trying to keep Lamar Jackson somewhat contained when he tries to run. They did a pretty good job of it there.
And you know, it's so difficult for every defense that has to prepare for Lamar Jackson. You have to think and play at the same time. And I know that sounds like something you're supposed to do, but when you have to think.
And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Davion Taylor drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race.
Ain't doing nothing.
And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A great play there with officially a 103-yard return. And the Giants have struck first in this NFC title game. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. A hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Tackled that time by Jerome Baker out of Ohio State. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jackson. That's a loss of 8 yards there to bring up 3rd. Throwing is Jackson. And that is incomplete.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get on track in this one.
Here comes the Lions punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Dances by him. 42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention.
And we talked about it last week, the pressure of not just playing in the playoffs and now in the championship game as they try to close out a perfect 19-0 season. Of all the games they've played, though, this year, this is far and away the toughest one. If they find a way to win it, guess what the next one will be? The toughest one they've played. That's what happens when you have a perfect record on the line. I think that's how this defense is going to need to play these tight ends. Again, get right up on them and stay physical. And that paid off on that play, helping force that incompletion.
They'll run for the first time with Saquon Barkley. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Jones from the gun on 3rd down. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Looking to throw. Jones buying time to his left. That's It's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Nothing our score after one. On first down, Hatcher. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Saquon Barkley there to make the grab. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. Well, we know he can run the ball. There he shows he has the ability to do a little bit more.
That's what you call a complete player, a guy who can run it.
And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take it. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right.
Oh, and now they're going to fake it. And would you believe it? This is caught in the end zone. And the fake extra point works to extend their lead by 2. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Out of the pistol, here's Williams. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and set them down. When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Meanwhile, Jackson's throw taken in here by Chase.
And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Jackson now. He's got Smith here. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
Options galore here. 2nd and a few inches.
From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And he's got room. Touchdown, Detroit. Javonte Williams, 30 yards. And the Lions have got it back to a one-score game.
Well, they've done a pretty good job keeping him in check to that point, but he finally breaks off a nice run here and gets into the end zone.
And it just takes one, doesn't it, partner? That can undo a lot of good work that a defense has done to that point. You break off one right there, and everything suddenly looks bad for you.
The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. With it on the return is Logan.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
Saquon Barkley and the Giants offense set to kick off their next drive. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, trying to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. A big connection on that one. 32 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Jones with a handoff to Barkley.
And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 2nd and 9, Jones. And this is caught by Watkins. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. A reminder, as we've done all year, we'll send you to Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report. In a bit, the coach is with us per usual as we start to look ahead, Charles, to our potential matchups in this year's Super Bowl.
Break it down, coach. Break it down.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A big play there on the catch and run. And Barkley will try to punch it in. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. Another try for Barkley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there. And it's 3rd down. Back to throw. Jones steps away to his left. And that is caught. He's got it for a giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley. Touchdown here in this first half. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
Here's Bass now for the extra point.
And he atones for his miss the first time around as this one is up and good to extend their lead. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times. But as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. He's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Jackson from the shotgun. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson. And this is going to be incomplete. So after 3 stop.
Yes, and welcome to the party, defensive players, and glad to have you, because for a while there, it almost felt like it was 11 going downfield on air. Okay, so to be able to have someone come up.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
They talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
Forced out to his left. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. So we've reached halftime here in the NFC. Yeah, who has time for a halftime show with a trip to the Super Bowl on the line? Let's get back to it. The Hallis Trophy still hangs in the balance as the second half now underway in the NFC Championship game. Now increase here as he's past the 30. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Now a look at Smith. Not sure exactly what happened, but he's still down. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
Jones throw taken in by Watkins here.
That catch good for only a couple.
And I think here with the lead, CD, they have to resist that temptation to kind of looking ahead. Would you agree?
Absolutely, I would agree, because they know the stakes. They know the winner of this game goes to the Super Bowl. And this one, it's fought from over. They were the better team in the first half, but they do know that they're facing their toughest opponent of the year. And they've got to be prepared for them to fight it out all the way and add a few extra wrinkles in the second half as well. They need to stay on guard.
They'll run on first down. Barkley. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Man, that ain't make no sense.
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block, it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Now a give, right side. Hatcher. And they'll get him down here at about the 42.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets, because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
On first down, Barkley. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Daniel Jones, 14 yards. And the Giants continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. Well, something about this team, you just felt like they were one of destiny all season long, and they made themselves today, as you can see, the class of the NFC.
Yeah, and it's starting to look more and more like a Super Bowl trip is very much in their future.
And the fans starting to book those tickets. The extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Lamar Jackson heading back out as we check out our players spotlight. Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger. But no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing. And try and get back to where you were to start the half.
One play has him up past the 40 already. And another 1st and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. Dancing to his left. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
That's caught by Myers. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30.
Brandon, there have been some memorable snow games for championships in the NFL. 1948, Philadelphia Eagles, Chicago Cardinals.
Well, the most famous one in my lifetime, I think, is got to be 01, right? Raiders, Patriots, to send the Patriots to the Super Bowl.
You had to go to the Tuck Roll, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's one people remember. But I also know this. In Miami, the infamous one, the snowplow game. In New England, when they went out there and the Patriots had a guy come out and clear a spot on the field for their field goal kicker to kick the game winner.
Is that 82?
That was 82, and the Dolphins fans will never forget it.
Well, we're not seeing one of those famous games here, but it's fun to be in the snow nonetheless. On 2nd and inches, Jackson being chased out left. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
But to me, this leads to the question, do you admire the way he puts his body out there all the time, or do you think
sacks that he's taken? So, I don't know. I kind of admire him not sliding down there, don't you?
I'm with you on that one. The meter definitely leans towards admiration.
Yeah, boy, it is tough to bring him down that time. He surges forward. He's going to get a full 6 out of that. 2nd down. 1 quarter remains for the right to go on to the Super Bowl. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3. Jackson. And he checks this one down to Williams. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Only able to gain a couple there, and it'll be 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Taking it in from 11 yards out.
And the Lions have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
And now it's blocked. This is going the other way. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. The 40. He's at the 30.
Bring
10.
it.
And he takes it the distance across the goal line for 2 points.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be covered up by the Giants. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down.
40 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down the game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge. I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage, the stop troops, the defensive guys, they got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. From the gun, Jones buying time to his left. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Daniel Jones, his 2nd touchdown of the night.
And the Giants are closing in on a Super Bowl berth now as they extend their 4th quarter lead. Bass on for the extra point.
And the lead is now 24. So the drive there took 6 plays. And in the end, the finishing touch, an 11-yard run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Taken in at the 3. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Detroit's offense ready to take over. And their dream of a Super Bowl berth so close 3 quarters ago, but obviously starting to slip away if it hasn't already. They need points here and in a hurry. They begin the drive with Williams.
No those up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on first down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
2nd and 6.
From the gun, it's Jackson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I'll tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to get a nice long soaking hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. On 3rd down, Jackson. And that is incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the 4th quarter here. You've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today.
Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. And this one is incomplete.